The champagne glass slipped from Martha's hand as her daughter-in-law pointed at the door and screamed, "Get out! You don't belong here!" 50 guests turned to stare. The golden balloons spelling "Happy 25th Anniversary" suddenly felt like they were mocking her. This was supposed to be the most beautiful day of her life. Instead, it became the day she learned the truth about her own family. But wait, let me tell you something that will change everything you think you know about this story. By the end, you'll understand why that broken champagne glass was actually the best thing that ever happened to Martha. Stay with me, because what her 7-year-old grandson did next will make you cry. Martha had spent 3 weeks planning this party, every detail perfect, every flower chosen with love. She wanted to celebrate her son David and his wife Lisa's marriage the right way. After all, they had given her the most precious gift in the world, her grandson Tommy. The morning of the party, Martha arrived early at the community center. Her hands shook as she hung the decorations. Not from age, she was only 55 and strong as an oak tree. No, she shook from excitement. Tonight, her whole family would be together. "Mom, what are you doing here so early?" David walked in carrying boxes of food. "I wanted everything perfect for you and Lisa," Martha smiled, adjusting a crooked banner. David's face went cold. "Mom, we need to talk." Those 4 words hit Martha like a truck. She had heard them before. 25 years ago, when her husband left her with baby David. 15 years ago, when her mother died. Last year, when the doctors found the spot on her lung, which turned out to be nothing, thank God. "What's wrong, honey?" David couldn't look at her. "Lisa thinks maybe you shouldn't stay for the whole party." The banner fell from Martha's hands. "What do you mean?" "You know how you get, Mom. You talk too much. You embarrass us sometimes. Lisa's family is coming tonight, important people." Each word was a knife in her heart. She had raised David alone, worked 2 jobs to put him through college, never missed a single baseball game or school play, and now he was ashamed of her. "David, I'm your mother." "I know, but you're not Lisa's mother, and it's her party too." Martha felt her world cracking like an egg, but she forced a smile. She always did. "Of course, sweetheart, I understand." But she didn't understand. How could she? The guests started arriving at 6. Martha watched from the kitchen, helping serve food like she was hired help instead of family. Lisa's parents held court in the center of the room, talking about their vacation home and their boat and their son's law practice. Meanwhile, Martha stayed in the shadows. Then she saw him, Tommy, her 7-year-old grandson, looking around the room with confused eyes. "Grandma, why are you in the kitchen?" Tommy tugged on her dress. "I'm just helping, baby." "But where's your seat? Everyone has a seat with their name on it. Where's yours?" Martha's throat closed up. There was no seat for her. Lisa had made sure of that. "Grandma doesn't need a seat tonight, Tommy. I'm just here to help." Tommy's face scrunched up like he was solving a hard math problem. "But your family." "Go play with your cousins, sweetheart." As the night went on, Martha felt herself becoming invisible. She served drinks. She cleaned spills. She watched her son laugh with Lisa's family while ignoring her completely. Then came the speeches. Lisa's father stood up first. "25 years ago, my daughter found a wonderful man. David has given her everything, a beautiful home, a successful career, and of course, our precious Tommy." Everyone clapped. Martha clapped too, even though her heart was breaking. Lisa's mother went next. "I'm so proud of the family you've built together. You've overcome every challenge." Every challenge, Martha thought. Who watched Tommy every weekend when they went out, who stayed up all night when he had the flu, who taught him to ride his bike. More speeches followed. Friends, cousins, coworkers, everyone talked about David and Lisa's perfect life. But nobody mentioned Martha. Then Lisa stood up. Her smile was bright and sharp like a knife. "Thank you all for being here tonight. David and I are so blessed to have such wonderful family and friends." She looked right at Martha. Of course, some people think they can just invite themselves to private family events, but real family knows when they're wanted and when they're not. The room went quiet. Martha felt every eye on her. "I think it's time for some people to leave," Lisa continued. "This party is for people who actually matter in our lives." Martha's face burned with shame. She grabbed her purse with trembling hands. But then something amazing happened. Tommy jumped up from his chair. His little face was red and tears were streaming down his cheeks. "No," he screamed. The whole room froze. "Grandma Martha is family. She's my family. She reads me stories every night on the phone. She taught me to catch fireflies. She makes the best cookies in the whole world." Tommy was crying so hard he could barely speak, but he kept going. "When I broke my arm last year, Grandma Martha stayed at the hospital with me all night because Mommy and Daddy had to work. When I was scared of the dark, Grandma Martha bought me a nightlight shaped like a star. When Daddy forgot my birthday, Grandma Martha remembered." David's face went white. "Tommy, that's enough." "No, it's not enough," Tommy's voice cracked. "Grandma Martha loves me more than anyone, and you're being mean to her." The little boy ran to Martha and wrapped his arms around her legs. "Don't leave, Grandma. Please don't leave me." Martha looked down at her grandson. This brave little boy who had just done what she couldn't do, stand up for what was right. But here's what nobody in that room knew. Here's the secret that changes everything. For months, Martha had been getting calls from a lawyer in Seattle. Her long-lost brother had died and left her everything: a house, a business, and $3 million. Martha hadn't told anyone because she wanted to see who really loved her for herself. Now she knew. Martha knelt down and hugged Tommy tight. Then she stood up tall and looked around the room. "Tommy, baby, I want you to remember something. Sometimes the people who love us have to make hard choices. Sometimes they have to be brave." She looked at David, her son, the boy she had sacrificed everything for. "I came here tonight to celebrate your marriage. Instead, I learned something important. I learned that the only person in this room who truly loves me is 7 years old." Lisa's face was red. "How dare you make a scene at your party?" Martha's voice was steady now, strong. "Funny thing about that, I paid for this party, the hall, the food, the flowers, everything." The room gasped. "I wanted to surprise you both, but I guess the surprise is on me." Martha turned to the party planner who was standing by the door. "Sarah, please cancel the payment, all of it." "Mom, wait." David stepped forward. But Martha was already walking toward the door, Tommy's hand in hers. "Grandma, where are we going?" Tommy whispered. "We're going to get ice cream. Then we're going to your new house." "New house?" Martha smiled, the first real smile she did all night. "That's right, baby. Grandma just inherited a big house with a backyard and a swing set, and there's a really good school nearby. How would you like to live with Grandma?" Tommy's eyes went wide. "Really? Forever?" "Forever and ever." Behind them, the party was falling apart. Guests were leaving. Lisa was crying. David was trying to explain why his mother had just walked out on them. But Martha didn't look back. 3 days later, David called. "Mom, please, we can work this out. Lisa's sorry, she was just stressed." "It's too late, David." "What do you mean?" "I mean Tommy and I are moving to Seattle next week. We're starting over." There was silence on the phone. "You can't take my son." "I'm not taking him. He's choosing. The court papers are already filed. Tommy told the judge exactly what kind of parents you and Lisa are." "Mom, please, I love you." "I love you too, David. But love isn't enough when there's no respect." Martha hung up the phone and looked out the window. Tommy was in the backyard, pushing his new puppy on the swing she'd had installed yesterday. 6 months later, Martha got another call. This time it was Lisa. "Tommy's been calling you every day," Lisa said quietly. "I know, he calls me every day. He won't talk to us anymore. He says we're not his real family." Martha felt sad but not sorry. "You taught him that family is only the people who matter to you. He learned the lesson." "We made a mistake." "Yes, you did. Can you forgive us?" Martha thought about forgiveness. She thought about love. She thought about the little boy who had stood up for her when no one else would. "Lisa, forgiveness isn't something you get because you ask for it. It's something you earn." "How do we earn it?" "Start by learning how to love without conditions. Tommy will teach you if you let him." Today, Tommy is 8 years old. He lives with his grandma in a beautiful house by a lake. He goes to a great school where his teachers know his grandma's name. He has friends who come over for cookies and stories. And sometimes, when David and Lisa call, Tommy talks to them. Not because he has to, but because his grandma taught him that love is always stronger than hurt. Martha learned something that night at the anniversary party. She learned that sometimes the people who should love us the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. But she also learned that real love, the kind that stands up and speaks truth even when it's scary, that love is worth everything. The broken champagne glass was swept away that night, but the lesson Tommy taught everyone in that room will last forever. Sometimes the smallest voice speaks the loudest truth, and sometimes being thrown out is really being set free.